Hello friends, Tiffany here. Welcome to my quilting life. Oh boy, I have two fun blocks for you today. You're going to love them. So stick around to the very end so that you can see how these two blocks are made. So without further ado, here's two 25 patch blocks. Will this work for round two? Will this work for round two? I don't know. Let's see. How about we make this 3-color block? For me, it would be again. All right, so what we need for this 3-color block is 9 purple, 4 red, and 12 of a blue. Oops, let's put that in the screen. So this block requires no half square triangles, which makes everything so much easier. So all we really got to do is lay it out. So we're going to go with this, that, this, and that. Why? Because the purples are running all the way across in both directions. So we're going to go to this way and we're going to go to that way, just like that. Then we have our red, which goes around here like this. Then we have our blue, which fills in the rest of the blankness, just like this, all the way around, just like that, right there. Let's get this done. All right, so there we have our block. See how quick and easy this one is? So we're going to start off with taking these first and second rows here, and we're going to stick them right sides together. So we're just going to go right sides together, just like these, and that, and this, and that. And then we're going to sew down that right side. Ooh, I've got just shredding everywhere. We're going to sew down that right side, and then we're going to open these up, blah, 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 just like that, and add the third row or column. And then we're going to keep everything hooked together and just keep adding them together. So let's go over to the sewing machine where I hopefully don't mess up. All right, welcome to the sewing machine area, where I shall magically make a block appear. So we're going to take block pieces 1 and 2 from column 1 and 2, or row 1 and 2, and we're going to sew those together with a 1/4 inch seam. Then we're going to grab the second 2, and we are going to sew those together. Just like this. We never took anything off. We're just going to leave them hooked. This is called web piecing. I am not the one that came up with it, but I do endorse it. I honestly don't know who came up with web piecing, but whoever did, they are a genius for people like me who don't really like to slow down, and I just go and go and go. All right, now that they are all there, we're going to break thread and press them with our finger, or you can take it to the ironing board. It's up to you. They're kind of hard at the ironing board because they're hooked together. But we're going to press left, right, left, right, left, right. And that way, our seams are mostly held down for when we sew them together, making it just a little bit easier. All right, so we're going to come back here to this top piece, and we're going to grab our first piece in the third column or row, and we're going to put that right sides together and sew it through. Grab the second one and right sides together and sew it through. And then the next one. You guys are getting the hang of it here, aren't you? Just like this. And the next, just like all this. Okay, in all seriousness, you know, we're doing this. We're getting it done. And like that. And then the same exact procedure to the right, to the left, to the right, the left, oops, and to the right. And now we're going to go to the fourth row, and we're going to take all those pieces and hook them on as well. So just like this, and then grab that next one. If it was half square triangles, I wouldn't move or turn anything. I just flip it upside down and add it. But this is not half square triangles, so we don't have to worry about it. Next, just like this, and one more for that row of 4, and again, break thread, and now they're going to start staying flatter without turning too much. Right, left, right, left, and right. Now for the last 5 in the 5th row, we're gonna right sides together, slide that on through. 1/4 inch seam still, we haven't changed our seam allowance. We're gonna hook this on there. We're gonna grab that next one and hook it on there. Oops, oops, don't move. If they start to move or adjust, just use your fingers to kind of, finagle the fabric the way you need it to be. And the last piece, look at that, and then I can show you how this goes together. Same procedure, right, left. And if you don't want to press with your fingernails, you can use a pressing stick. There's so many different options. Some people said use the end of a clothespin, even the far end of the clothespin that has that flat edge. But if you don't want to use your finger, there's tons of wood pressing things. There's also a round pressing. You open your seam and push it the way you want and roll it. I mean, there's so many different options for that. All right, so that it's all together. Everything is in the place it needs to be. As you can see, we're going to take this bottom row and put it over the second one. And you can see just with my finger pressing that all those seams are going in opposite directions. So I'm going to line these up. I'm just going to line up that top 2 pieces to start. I'm going to start my stitching, and then I'm just going to use my finger to nest those seams, and they should lay, if everything was a 2.5 inch square and you sewed them all together with a 1/4 inch seam consistently, even if your 1/4 inch seam wasn't a 1/4, but you had it consistent through the whole entire block, then that means every single seam should nest automatically. So they should just butt right up in the right spot. So I'm going to go ahead and just give this a little finger smush. One side, we're going to take those 2, put them over the 3rd column. Again, my seams are in opposite directions, and then I'm just going to line that end up, start my stitch, grab this, slide it through all the way down, just like this. And oops, got to make sure that didn't flip. Sometimes it flips at these lips on the machine bed, just like that, all the way down. Again, I'm going to smush this with my finger just out of the way for now because I'm going to be ironing it. So now I'm going to turn it around, and there's 2 here. You can either hook these 2 together first or make it easier by putting the 2 over like that. Again, opposite directions. I'm going to line up my end right here, and these seams should all nest right up. I just hold them like as if it was a pin to keep the seam allowance down. Makes it a little bit easier, but everything should line right up. Just don't sew your finger, all right? I'm gonna just kind of smush that back. Same direction as the other one, so now I'm pressing it to the left. And then I'm gonna put this last piece over just like this. Line it up, take a couple stitches, make sure it's held good, and sew on down. And I mean, this really, if these seams didn't flip, you probably wouldn't even need to hold any of it down. You could just line it up as you go and just continuously sew all the way down. All right, so I'm going to just flip this one under, give it a little smash back like that, and I'm going to take this over to the iron and press it. Here we are at the iron. You can see all of my seams are already finger pressed to go that way. So I'm going to do is stick my iron down right here, pull on that top just with a slight tug, and push all those seams back the rest of the way. Just a slight tug, just a slight, oops, don't knock it out of whack by pulling too hard, but I was trying to make sure you saw it in the camera. So they're all pressed back. This is gonna lay really flat because there's no half square triangles or anything in this, so they tend to lay pretty flat. And this one just looks like a sashed 9 patch. Looks really good. I like it. Pull all those threads away. I swear, shredding fabric today. All right, so let's go and review the block. Here we are reviewing the block. It looks just like the picture, but better because I used a dark blue instead of a light blue. But I'm going to show you, since I was recording and, well, I realized I had no sound, I made a whole second one to start. I'm going to move that over right up there, move the chart over, and here is a different colorway. Still about the same. It has the purple, but you can see just by changing the color up, you can make a ton of these blocks, every single one of them different colors, and then hook them all together and make a really awesome quilt just with this block on its own. I really like sometimes when I accidentally realize that I'm not filming, or I am filming but have no sound and I have to redo something, because then you guys get to see the options that are available when you make the same exact thing. So there's definitely options available, and this one's super easy to do. So it makes it a lot fun, a lot of fun, a lot of fun. Yep, that's it. So here's the one we just did. There's the chart. Let's move on to block number 2 for this video. All right, for block number 2, we are going to make a blue jay. Is that a blue jay? Bluebird? Whatever. We're going to make him, and he's sitting on his, what is it called? Like a perch? Yeah, he's sitting on something. He has 6 colors, technically 5 color, 1 white. So 1 white, and we're not even using that whole white, but 1 white is going to go where you can see the separation from his beak. Then we have, let's see, where am I at? We have 9 orange. Okay. Then we have 14 greenish colors. That's his back. It's like he's in a tree or on his perch in a tree. Okay. And then we have 3 brown. Okay. And then there is 4 light blue and 7 dark blue. I know these colors don't look right together, but let's see what this bird looks like all put together. So the first thing we need to do is find out how many need to be half square triangles, what needs to be turned into half square triangles. So I know that this green is going to be a lot of the half square triangles. Now to make the quarter square triangles, we are going to be using the cutoffs from these pieces after we make our half square triangle. So I'm going to just start pulling a green with a dark blue, and I'm going to just throw the combos over there. We have a green with an orange, and I'm just going to throw it over there, and then another green with an orange, and then another green with an orange, and one more green with an orange right there. Then we're going to have we have a dark blue with the green. We're going to throw that over there, and then we're going to move on over. These we'll make after with our leftover pieces. We're going to come down here. Again, that's going to be an after, so we have another green with an orange. We have an orange with a light blue right here, orange with light blue. And then we're going to move over. We have a green with a dark blue again. And then let's keep going. We're at an orange and a green again. Oops, come on. And then we have a brown with an orange, like that. And then we have an orange with a blue. Just like that. So we're going to go over to the sewing machine now, and all those combos we're going to make half square triangles out of. So with your half square triangles, you can either draw a line from corner to corner and then sew it, or you can fold them wrong sides together and smush like that, and you can see it creates a wonderful sew line. And or you can use seam tape, which is what I will be using. So let's go over to the machine and make some half square triangles. All right, here we are at the machine. We're just going to line these up and sew from corner to corner, and I'm using my seam tape, just like this. The reason we're sewing corner to corner is because these are 2.5-inch squares, and I want them to stay 2.5. Now you can up the size of your squares and have less cuts, but all of my cutoffs that I'm cutting off a 1/4 inch away from my seam, my stitch line, I'm actually using for a secondary quilt. So that's why I'm doing it this way. Plus, this whole series is all about what can you do with 25 squares or half square triangles or 1/4 square triangles. So I'm going to go ahead and put you in fast forward with some music while I sew all these half square triangles together. Okay, so for the trimming, let me use one that has a really dark sew line. What I'm going to do is, to get the most out of this, I am going to line up my ruler. Instead of cutting a 1/4 inch seam or an 1/8 of an inch seam, I'm going to cut in between the 1/8 and the 1/4. So when I'm lining it up, see the 1/4 and the 1/8 inch, I'm going to put it right in the middle of that, at least attempt to. That way I have more to work with, and it doesn't really necessarily have to be, but just in case I need them, I'm going to be cutting them this way. So I'm going to go ahead and put the music back on real quick and put you in fast forward while I trim all these up. Okay, so I pressed most of the blue-green combos to the dark blue. I pressed the orange and green to the orange, and I pressed the rest of them with the brown to the orange, the blue to the orange, and the dark blue to the dark blue, which it really doesn't matter. Honestly, I don't think any of these besides the pinwheel part is going to need to be a certain way. So we're going to move all this out of the way right here, and I'm going to move all those down there. And what we're going to do is figure out which ones need to be the quarter square triangles. So first of all, I need one of these for here and one of these for here. And then I need one of these for this side right here. We need our white and we need a dark blue piece from way over here. So I need one of my cutoffs from the dark blue and one of my cutoffs from light blue here, and a cutoff from the brown right there, and a cutoff from the light green. So let's move all those over there. Find a light green. There we go. So those are all the ones that we need. So we're going to move everything else out of the way temporarily. And what we're going to do is we need the green and the brown to go together. Then the dark blue going to go together with the white. And then the third one is going to be, oh, that doesn't need to be that. That needs to be a green right there. There we go, because I just realized that that's the smaller one. So a green cutoff, a light blue cutoff, and the dark blue. And then this one gets a big green. Oh, I don't know why I put it away then. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut all three of these for this, and I am going to cut a quarter. So we're going to zoom in. Okay, we're going to line this up on a line just so that you can see right there. So that way you can see it's on a line. I'm going to take the 1/4 inch mark and I'm going to line that up on the line. So the 1/4 inch goes from corner to corner, and then I'm going to snip that small piece away. I don't need that. So this piece is going to go with those. We're just going to move that over there. Then we're going to do that same exact procedure. We're going to line this up on a line just like this so you can see the corner to the corner is on a line. I'm going to take my 1/4 inch mark and put it on that line just like this, and I am going to trim away 1/4 inch. Again, discarding that other one. And the reason why I'm not saving these as the pieces, these cutoffs, is because on my other ones, let me show you, I trimmed away less than 1/4 inch. So, and more than an 1/8. So these ones would be too small when I go to put them together. So that goes over here. And then we need this blue. We're going to do that same exact procedure. We're going to be cutting this blue in half. No, we're not cutting this blue in half. Yeah, we're cutting this one. Yep, had to look. Lining it up on a line. Lining up that 1/4 inch seam mark, just like this, and trimming that away. So that is going to go with here. And then we're going to take the white, and the white, we're going to cut from corner to corner because it really doesn't matter. Corner to corner. So I only need one side of that white. So there's those pieces. So we have our combos. We got the white with the blue, both blues. We have the green with the brown, and then we have the dark blue, light blue, and green. So we're going to go over to the sewing machine and sew these together. So I brought the diagram here so that we can see. So we're going to start with this outer combo. We're going to move these out of the way. This outer one right here is the green, brown, and green. So I'm going to lay that in my throat space. I want my brown to be this way and my little green to be this way. And then this one is going to go here. So I'm going to sew these two together first, like this, with a 1/4 inch seam. It'd be nice if I had a guide because I can't sew straight for the life of me. Just like that. And then I'm going to just press this towards the brown with my finger. And now we're going to take this other piece and we're going to put that on there. And I'm going to line up that tip corner with the tip corner of these two blocks. So you can see that corner lines up, and then the bottom should line up, but it's going to be bigger than it needs to be. So you can see it kind of lines up at the top of one and it kind of on the other, but there's a 1/4 inch hangover on both sides. So I'm going to go ahead and sew that, and I should be sewing from corner to corner on that top piece. And when I mean corner to corner on the top piece, I mean my stitch goes from the corner of the piece that's already trimmed off to the other corner, just like that. So I'm just going to press this open, just like this. And there's one. I will press it and then trim what needs to be trimmed off. So we're going to move on to the next, which is the dark blue and white combo. Did I hold that even? Yeah. So we're going to go with the dark blue. Big one is up in this corner. Then we have the white. Let me make sure that white on white is facing the correct direction here. And then we have this other one there. Now you can see this one is oversized because we just cut it in half, but that's okay. We're going to put this right sides together just like that. And I'm going to sew down this one side just like that. I'm definitely pressing this towards that blue. And you can see it's oversized. So when I go to stick this piece on, I'm going to still make sure that my corner, so you can see how big extra it is lined up with the tip of where that seam is. And I'm going to go ahead and sew this one. This one will definitely be getting trimmed. So I have sewn from this tip corner to that tip corner. I'm just going to press this back just like this. And that piece is now complete. So now we're going to move on to the last one, which is this one right here. And we're going to have the big blue on the outside, which is that guy. And then the green will be here and the light blue will be there. So let's put these together. So we're going to take these two bottom ones, the green and the blue, right sides together. And I'm going to sew down this side. I'm just going to press it towards the green, and then we're going to take this other one and we're going to lay it on top. It should line up. This one's lining up perfectly. So you can see the 1/4 inch overhang on each side. Some of them come out like so perfect because of the way I cut the extras off, and some of them do not. All right, so let's finger press that back, and I'm going to press these and I'll meet you at the cutting board. Here we are at the cutting mat. I'll move my drawing out of the way. I'm going to trim all these to 2.5 inches. They should be super close. Like, see this, I don't have to do anything but trim off that top part and maybe run along that side just barely. And I'm just going to snip off that dog ear. So that piece is done. Let's see if this one needs any trimming. Oh, just a little bit right here. They get just a tiny bit wonky, not much. Line it up on the 2.5. Trim and trim, see, just a tiny bit. And then last one, this one doesn't need much trimming at all. It just needs right there, and this little dog ear cut off. All right, so I literally barely took slivers off. So those are our pieces. Let's now lay our block out and see what we got going on. Okay, so we have all of our pieces. We're gonna start off by moving all those out of the way. We have a green to start with. Okay, and then we're going to do a blue-green, dark blue and green right here. And then we're going to have another solid green right there. And then we're going to have an orange and green facing that way. And then another orange and green facing that way. So there's row 1. Now we're going to grab our brown and green combo for the beak, which is going to go right there. And then next to that is going to be our white and blue combo right there, just like that. Then next is a dark blue and a green. Then an orange and a green, and then an orange and a green. Turn it the correct direction, creating a pinwheel, and we have the top of a bird, which you can already tell is the top of a bird. All right, next row, we have a solid green, we have a solid light blue, we have a solid dark blue, then we have our light blue, green, and dark blue combo facing that direction, and then we have our final solid dark green. Then the next row, orange and green, the orange facing down like that. We're building his perch to lay on. Then we have, where are we at? This one, the light blue and orange combo right there. Then we have 2 light blues in a row, and then a dark blue and a green, dark blue facing down to the left, just like that. And now the bottom. So let's do the last orange combo with the green, then the brown and the green combo, then our final 2 browns, and then our orange and our blue combo, just like that, creating the tail. So there is our bird. It looks fabulous. Oh my goodness, I love this one. All right, so let's get to sewing this together. So what we need to do is take row 1 and row 2, and we are going to put these right sides together. We're not going to turn anything. We're not going to move anything. We just want these right sides together, just like that. And we're going to sew down the right side. We're going to leave everything attached. And then when we're done, we're going to open these up and add row 3, 4, and 5. So let's go over to the sewing machine and sew those together. Here we are at the sewing machine. I have the first 2 pieces. I'm going to line those up. So a 1/4 inch seam. I'm going to leave them right there. Grab those next 2 pieces, line them up, and sew a 1/4 inch seam. The next 2, oops, I almost got out of the way. Hold on. Woof, I knew that was going to happen. Just something weird was going to turn on me as soon as I grabbed it because my shirt's long. All right, right sides together. Grab those next 2. I'm going to make sure that they're the same as the photo, and it looks like they are. I'm going to put them under just like this. And the last 2, those did not get moved, but we're going to make sure that the oranges come together in the middle, and they do, and sew that through. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and press right, left, right, left, right. I'm going to make sure that I give a little bit of press down in these corners. That way it holds them nice and flat, just like this. This one's going to go towards the left, and this one's going to go towards the right. All right, so we're going to go to the 3rd row, and then I'm just going to sew these on. I'm going to put you in fast forward with some music on, and just continue sewing these rows together. And then I'll sew all of them together into a block, and I'll meet you back at the cutting mat. Okay. Look at that. Who needs to paper piece when you can just make a block with squares? Isn't that adorable? All right, so this looks just like the picture, but better. Nice and bright, beautiful colors. I didn't even plan this, but my fabric stayed directional for that, for the piece of wood that runs under his little perch. Isn't that just adorable? I love it. Look what you can do with just 2.5 inch squares. Well, any size if you wanted to. You can make this a big block if you wanted to. But isn't that just adorable? Its finished size should be 10.5. So here's my half. 9, 10, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and a half. Look at that. So it's the size I need it to be. All right, so let's take a look at both blocks for today's video. So there is both blocks for today's video. Look at that, so pretty, so pretty. So if you want to take a screenshot of the blocks themselves, you can, or you can take a screenshot of the diagrams, or you can just join the Facebook group because there is a diagram for every single block there by one of the group members having fun converting them all to PDF for you guys. So there we have it. There's both blocks. Don't forget to like this video on your way out. Thank you for watching, and check out the videos that are on the screen at this very moment. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.